This is me. I've made assumptions about surfing that were way off, and those assumptions recently knocked down by watching some of the greats. This video takes place over 2 sessions, one that looks magical but was not, and one that looks magical and totally was.
Always telling me you're the only one in your place, can't you see?
During the sessions, I changed one little thing, and it's completely changed the way I surf.
Trying to put me in my place, taking away all I've ever been. Ooh.
Say bye.
Bye-bye.
Say bye.
Bye, camera.
Let's do this. I'm heading to the beach right now to attempt nose riding lower on the wave. Over the last 6 months, I've started to realize you do not have to be high on the wave to nose ride. As seen by this lovely picture of JJ Wessels, and also by Devon Howard on the new CI log edit he just put up on the Channel Islands YouTube channel. Here he is low, and here he is high. Last session, I wasn't trying to do it, but I saw a very steep section come up, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna try going low, and I did, and it was awesome. So I'll have a few things to say about that wave and what I'm gonna change about today. So yeah, I am so excited to try this because this is gonna open up a whole new world, I'm hoping. My initial reaction to these waves are, they are fun. Nice and clean, wow. We got some weird swell things happening though. This is an east swell, so I just gotta kind of rethink about where I'm gonna go. So we gotta talk about the steepness of waves, okay? Here in New Jersey, we often get very, very steep waves, which means if I'm nose riding high on the wave, and that wave whips around fast, it's just gonna take me out with it. So on those waves where they're super steep, kind of whippy, that's when you have to actually be lower on the wave. Now, it's kind of hard to explain without a pen and a paper. So I'm gonna cut in and out to where I am drawing on a piece of paper. When the wave is slopier, okay, you could nose ride higher. Why? Well, you need the rail of your board digging in to a steep part of the wave, okay? Because at the steep part, that's when the wave is really whipping and throwing water over, and it sucks your board in, sort of, all right? So as you can see here, you can see the flow of water going right over the board, and that's what locks you into the wave, okay? If they're really steep waves, that magic spot to be is not up high, because you'll get whipped right over. It's actually down low. All right, down low, that's actually the magic spot. Can there be any more trucks driving by right now? So on the really steep wave, down low, that's the magic spot. So, I mean, I kind of knew this the last 6 months. I just never put it into practice for some strange reason. Gosh, I still don't know what board I'm gonna ride. I think I might bring both. I gotta go back and get the fin anyway, so. Luckily, my expensive shed is only 3 minutes from here. It's awesome. Man, you need a lot of stuff for surfing. So I also posted that wave I got last session on longboardsessions.com, and I got a really great response by Ben Considine, and he said, the only reason there was some purling action happening, so that meaning the nose of my board was kind of digging into the wave. I thought I was critical enough to not nosedive, but it started to purl a little bit, so I backed off. But what he says, the only reason there was some purling action happening there is that the wave was certainly steep, but you could have also been farther back and in the pocket. If I was a couple feet back in the pocket, only slightly in front of it, I could have gotten away with being even lower than I was. So I really have to exaggerate what I'm doing today. And that means I'm probably gonna put a leash on. I don't wanna be held back with the fear of losing my board, and I wanna really go for it. So I'm gonna throw the leash on where I normally wouldn't on a day like today. And you know what? I think I'm going with the CI log. there's much more size to it than I thought. Let's pop that off the roof and let's get after it. Don't tell anybody that I hide my board bag under my car. No one will find that, right? I'm suited up, ready to go. Let's get out there and see if I can do it. These waves look super, super good. I'm just a little worried about closeouts. But you know what? I don't mind trying to nose ride low on the wave right into a closeout. If I can get the feeling, that's good enough for me. All right, let's get out there. Yoo! Yes, the struggle with closeouts began immediately. Now we're gonna blow by this session quick and skip to the one where some great things happened, but I did have a few notable waves from today. Generally, when I tried to go for the nose ride, I kept getting stuck in this position. I'm in the middle of my board with really nowhere to go. If I attempted to walk forward in these positions, there's no chance I wouldn't nosedive. And here's the wave I probably had my best shot, but once again got stuck in the middle. I want to talk about this wave a lot more, but first we need to watch the next session. And finally, a quick 2 waves that were okay. I was happy with this one because I actually stepped back and finished off with an off the top. And this one here where I was fairly in control through a pretty critical section. Alright, I've had enough. Honestly, after today, I thought I might need to scratch this whole video. That was until my next session, of course. Now this one happened a couple weeks later after a flat spell. I honestly wasn't even going to surf this day because I had just worked a 70-hour work week and wanted a nice, relaxing day to hang with the family. But then I checked Surfline and said, oh boy. I took a shot in the dark and asked my wife if she wanted to film me in the freezing cold, and she responded with, let's do it. My mother-in-law graciously was able to watch the kids, and just like that, I was paddling into my first wave. Wasn't the most amazing ride, but after this wave, I knew it was going to be unbelievable. Check out where I am on this wave for this little toe poke, and check out the flow of water going over the back of the board. This is exactly what I was looking for. Now here are a couple examples of a higher nose ride on some slopier sections. Contrast that with my lower nose ride attempts on steeper sections. They are definitely sketchier, but I'm still getting used to this for sure. Couple of waves where I was too high and the lip whipped so fast that I took the back of my board with it. Could I have approached these waves further back in the pocket and lower and not wipe out? I'm not so sure, but maybe some better longboarders can comment below. So even with my shorter 9.2 CI log, I got more nose rides this session than I normally get over 3 to 5 sessions. Yes, the waves are great and that helps, but even more importantly, my focus on how high or how low to set the board up changed everything. Normally, on windy offshore days like this, I get blown off the wave on most of my nose rides. But this time, it only happened once or twice. Which brings us back to the wave from session 1. This wave peeled so nicely for me, but I was stuck in the middle of my board. It's almost impossible to cross-step when you're in these locked-in positions on a wave like this. Now, I held my takeoff, which was mistake number 1 on a wave that formed extremely fast. Had I not done that, stood up faster, as well as turned the board twice as fast, I would have had the time to do all 4 steps and get locked in on the nose rather than in the middle. I may have also had to be more critical as well. Next video, I think a quicker board setup will be a great technique to explore, and I cannot wait to do it. It could be helpful to watch the 2 videos leading up to this one, which I'll pop up on the screen now. Thanks so much to all the loyal supporters of this channel, and I'll see everyone again in a couple of weeks.